What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I am Alex. In this video, I want to talk about if the new Batman Arkham game has been canceled. Now, we've actually done this in the past as well. We've talked about why the game is not been canceled, but we did that back in August, and obviously a lot has happened with this game, with rumors maybe of even a delay, this and that. So there has been some problems with getting this game out, and I do want to just go back through it. I know last week, I think early last week, we talked about the game if it was delayed. Now I want to talk about if it's been canceled, because I do see it quite often in the comments, both delayed and canceled, and I just wanted to address that. Again, this is kind of part of me trying to do different kinds of videos. We had a ton of videos earlier this week where we talked about Batman Arkham Origins, we talked about we reviewed Arkham City, and I also talked about Batman Beyond. So I'm really trying to mix up the topics and try and give you guys a little bit of everything just to kind of satisfy all the crowd. So this is this video. Next week we're going to be having videos on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, just to give you guys a little bit of a preview. I honestly don't know what those videos are going to be yet. I'm kind of waiting to see kind of, just reception from you guys in the comments, and maybe that'll spark an idea for me to do. I'm recording these groups of videos all in one batch, so I'm going to do the next week's videos in one batch as well. By the time you see this video, I'll have probably already recorded those ones as well. But so let's talk about this. In the delayed video, which was, I believe, last Thursday, go check that out if you didn't watch it already, I kind of said, that I'm a little pessimistic about that. For me being Mr. Optimistic and me being Mr. Positive, I do see a scenario where the game has been internally pushed, again, with all of the other games that we've just kind of known about. Last of Us Part 2, Watch Dogs, Doom Eternal, lots of games have been delayed. Even Skull and Bones is one that's kind of a different scenario, but definitely one that you could look at. And then even games that have kind of been quietly in the background delayed, a game like Ghost of Tsushima. With how many games that are getting delayed, especially with this next generation of consoles right around the corner, it's something to talk about that has this game been delayed. Even though we don't know that it's come out yet, which, like I said in that video, I know there's going to be people saying, well, you can't delay a game that's not even real and stuff like that, and I know we'll probably get a few of those comments, but, that's okay. It's just people frustrated, no biggie. So, delaying, though, so, let's get to the heart of this discussion here. Delaying, I truly believe. If you ask me right now, do you think this game has been delayed? I'll tell you yes. I think we will still see it at the VGAs. I still think it's going to come out in 2020. I just think something has happened where it's pushed it maybe a few months. And that really all is hopefully delays are. The examples I kind of gave you, they are not the greatest, because The Last of Us Part 2, rumor had it, was supposed to come out in the fall and was delayed to February. They officially gave us the announcement that it was in February, and then it openly got delayed till the end of May. So, yeah, in terms of what they've said, it only got delayed 3 months, but from what it, internally, it probably got delayed 6-7 months, which is a bigger deal. Ghost of Tsushima, same thing. That game could have probably been delayed towards a year. Doom Eternal, that one's a little bit different. That one's only been delayed a little bit. Watch Dogs has been delayed for over a year. So we're seeing not only examples of high profile games getting delayed, but very high profile games, and also getting delayed for a very, very long time, which does worry me for sure. You look at this Batman game and you say, well, does that mean it's possible that this game could have been pushed to 2021, which, if it gets delayed as much as these other games, even 6-8 months, that could push it right out of 2020. So that is a worrisome thing. But again, we talked about that in that video. The main thing with this is I'm telling you guys, if I could look you all in your eyes, however many people watch this video, if I could look each of you in your eyes, I will tell you with a straight face, honest, I'm not going to blink, I'm just going to stare at you. I'm going to say the game isn't canceled. I get the worry. I get the people that say oh, this game was never real. I guess I understand where they're coming from, or it's okay that they think that. I'm not angry at them or anything, but I don't agree. I just flat out don't agree. I'll never agree. The game is real. The game is real. The game's happening. I know that with the Damian Wayne, that Arkham Knight sequel getting canceled, I know a lot of people have looked at it and said well, hey, here's a recent cancellation. What you have to also remember is these are all in quote unquote insiders, and we know how great they've been in the Arkham community, right? They've been wrong. They've been kind of stupid in terms of what they've said. We've talked about some of their things. A lot of backtracking, we could also say. there's a lot of misinformation, and that's putting it lightly, in the Arkham community in terms of these leakers. And by the way, I'm not one of them. I'm not an insider. I'm not a leaker. I know some people will say, stop spreading leaks or stop coming up with leaks. I'm saying what I hear, and I'm giving you guys my impressions of what I hear. I'm not the ones doing it. If I'm the one doing it, then you can get mad at me for being wrong. But I'm not saying anything that I'm thinking is like 1,000% correct. Like, I've never said that. So with this Arkham Knight sequel canceled, what I think a lot of people have to look at, truthfully, is, yeah, we just heard about it like a couple months ago, and yeah, we just now heard a couple weeks ago or maybe a month ago by the time you guys are seeing this about the whole, Arkham Legacy thing, all this stuff, and people are like, well, the Damian Wayne game, it got canceled like this summer, like over the summer they canceled it, so how could they possibly be working on this game? Or, hey, if Damian Wayne's game, if that game got canceled, this game got canceled too. That's just when we heard about it, okay? That game could have been canceled years ago. There's definitely examples out there of studios such as Sony Santa Monica that was making that like outer space sci-fi game before they made God of War. That when we found out that game was canceled, it didn't get canceled like the day before the news broke. It got canceled multiple months, if not like a year before. And now that's not the longest time before, for sure, and that's the one example I'd throw at you. But just because we hear about this Arkham Knight sequel being canceled doesn't mean it got canceled 2 days before the announcement came out, okay? I truly believe that mechanics and aspects of a lot of these games that we've heard quote-unquote leaks from for the past several years, they've all kind of made their way into one game. I think that they're taking parts of each of these games and putting it into one. So yeah, while maybe the overall game, whatever that game was called, got canceled, I think a lot of that is still in this game that's actually being made. And I still believe that the game being made right now, the game we've been talking about for months, has been a game that they've been making for at least 2 years. I like to throw the year 2 years on there. I truly do believe that. I do not think that game has been canceled. They were teasing the Court of Owls in the beginning of this year. They were teasing the Court of Owls towards the end of this year. And so that's obviously stayed the same. And I just think that, okay, you could say they don't know what they're doing, and they don't in a lot of ways, but I would like to truly believe that you don't have all of these people teasing the game in September, right before State of Play, all this stuff, beware the Court of Owls, it's going to happen reasonably soon, capture the night, all this stuff. I don't think you have that happen to then cancel the game a month later. At this point, I think it would be like it has to come out kind of project. Because I think whatever game it is, they've been working on it for multiple years, and now they've teased it, now it's happening. You don't just have these things, be this high profile to then say, oh yeah, we canceled it last week. Yeah, we had a meeting, we said, you know what? It's just not working. We're going to cancel years of progress, and we're going to start from scratch again. To be honest, Warner Bros. Montreal cannot afford that. And I know, and a lot of people haven't really thought of that. When I see people saying, like, they probably just canceled it, they're probably starting from the beginning. Do you know how mad Warner Bros. Would be about that? Do you know how Warner Bros. Probably would never let that happen in their lives? This is a studio that I want to respect. I want to say they're very, very talented. I want to say I believe in their game. But they've made a lot of mistakes. Even Arkham Origins was not received all that great. It didn't sell all that great compared to the other Arkham games. You look at what they've done since then. They've had multiple canceled games. Now it's up to 3 games canceled in 6 years? They've had a lot of problems there. You think that they've been working on a game for years, whether it was Insurgency, whether it was Legacy, whatever you want to call it, you think they were working on a game for a couple years, and then they just canceled it like this summer, and they're starting from scratch right now? Can you look at me? Can you look at me now with a straight face and tell me that is what happened? Because they'd all be fired. The studio would literally have shut down. Either the studio would be completely canned and shut down, or you'd see a massive restructuring where multiple people would be fired, new leadership, and you would hear those things too. If there's new creative directors, if there's new higher ups in a studio, normally you hear about that somewhere. Articles are written about that somewhere. Especially, Warner Bros. Montreal is not the most high profile studio, but you would know about it if it happened, and you haven't. So, people that have worked there, there's still people that are there that have been there for quite some time. Again, we know that they're working on 2 games. There's a lot of things that have been the state of the studio for a little while. Not just a little while, like a couple years. So I'm trying to drive home to you is, if you don't want to believe me just by me saying like, oh, I know in my heart of hearts that the game is real. Okay, maybe that's not good enough for you, and that's fine. You don't have to take, maybe taking my word for it isn't what you want to do. Okay, but then let me convince you with that other method. Again, look at it from the other way around. Do you think a studio that's had 3 canceled games in 6 years, that's always been looked at as like, hey, you're not Rocksteady, that studio, do you think that studio would have wasted its time for all this long, teased it as much as it's teased it, just to have the game being canceled again, like this fall, and restart from the ground up, where a new game won't come out now until, say, 2022 or 2023, 10 years after their last major game? Do you think that that is what they're going to do? Because if you're Warner Bros., why are you paying these guys as paychecks, which you have been for 6 years, with nothing coming back? And I don't know how the contracts work. I don't know how, like, I assume it is contracts and it's by game and also by year. But you don't pay people that much money, however much money it is, for that amount of time with literally no product. You're losing so much money, and you can't do that. So the worst case scenario is maybe they would like to cancel the game. Maybe the game is not in the greatest state. Maybe it has been delayed, and that's happening. But they're at the point, and especially Warner Bros. Is at the point where they're like, hey, you know what? If it's solid, just ship it. Like, we're going to make this game. We're not canceling it. Hell no, we're not canceling it. We need something back. We need some money back. Ship the game in whatever state it's going to be in the fall of 2020. If you guys had needed 2 more years after that, well, too bad for you. We gave you enough time. And once this game ships, we're going to fire like half of you, if not more. Hey, that could realistically happen. I don't know. I want to believe in the best for these people, and I am, because I'm saying it's not canceled. It's not canceled. Maybe it's been delayed a few months, but I still want to look at like the best of it. I still think it's coming out in 2020, and I still think the game we've been talking about for the last couple months, the Court of Owls-centric game, is the game that we're getting. It's not like that game was being made, that game's gone, and now last month they just started up a brand new game. It's not like that's happened. I truly don't believe that. For people that think that, you can think that all you want. I just don't know how you think that, and I will never think that as well. Okay, so guys, let me know in the comments below. Do you think this new Batman Arkham game, Court of Owls, Legacy, whatever you want to call it, do you think that this game has been canceled? Do you think it's been delayed? What do you think's going on with it in general? Let me know in the comments below. Guys, you guys have been doing such an amazing job supporting us, supporting the channel, liking these videos, commenting, sharing. You guys absolutely rock. Joining the Discord server. I haven't plugged that in the past couple of videos. Join that if you guys are interested. Link is always in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we'll have new videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. Again, it'll be kind of mixed up, discussion, speculation, maybe a review. We'll see. Thank you guys as always for watching. I hope to see you in those videos.